Man, cardio. And I said this in a video before, but generally I believe that cardio is fun for me, that I'm literally making a video right now at 6:34 so a.m. to talk about an entire video about cardio. To basically explain at the 6:34 a.m. video, I enjoy cardio here and there. I hate cardio before my lifting schedule, mainly because I don't want cardio to compromise my lifts. But overall, I enjoy cardio more than most people that complain in the gym about the Stairmaster being too hard on their knee gains. I love cardio, so I specifically made a video about it. Specifically, in a particular amount of cardio that I do that I personally love and enjoy. And honestly, I believe in my head, if you're not doing cardio, then you're missing out on the benefits of doing cardio. There's a lot of benefits of people doing cardio, of you doing cardio. Because when I do the type of cardio that I'll describe, basically I just feel like I'm just ascending to like two different type of dimensions at the same time with the type of cardio that I do. I'm here stuttering in this video since it's 6 a.m. Alright, stick around for this video either way as I talk about the big C, the cardio. Because overall I teach you and basically show you how cardio can make you more leaner and like more fitter overall. I complement it with obviously your training lifting routine. Obviously you still need to lift here and there. Obviously you want to be lean. Before I get to that specific type of cardio that I generally enjoy, I want to talk about the big three cardio that most people generally talk about, most people do like in the movies, the TV shows and stuff like that. I mean, jogging, running, obviously sprinting, aka sprinting away from child support. Now there are actually some differences that most people don't really realize when it comes to the big three cardio, and a lot of that comes from oxygen and a lot of that comes from effort, oxygen use, and of course the amount of calories that you're burning with all the big three cardio. For example, walking and running is probably like the most like exemplified version of like the most lowest intensified version of cardio. Basically when you're walking or running, basically you're just telling everybody that I don't want to feel like a cartoon character running due to the fact that my stride is making me basically float in air. One foot is being planted onto the ground while it's walking or rucking. You can basically still do it, basically how fast it is. It's just the fact that when you walk or ruck, that being like a specific different form of cardio due to the fact that you have zero flight time or like no flight time at all, basically meaning that you have a foot that's planted still on the ground. Compared to that jogging, running, and sprinting, it looks like that most sprinters and most runners and most racers, you see them look like they're just floating mid-air when it's like running and stuff like that. They're literally like running mid-air and they're about to literally just start ascending to heaven. It's because as your speed increases, your flight time increases. That flight time increases overall. As I said previously before with the rucking, walking, obviously you have a foot planted on the ground. With running and sprinting, obviously as you see, like there's no foot being planted on the ground. Spending the most time airborne between every step. Now it looks graceful, it looks beautiful on the inside and the outside, basically when you're like a viewer and stuff like that, but in the inside, yikes, your body is trying to basically fight for survival out here while you're breaking into multiple different sweats with high cortisol being flooded into your body, trying to like get a heart attack. And of course, another difference between walking, running, and sprinting is obviously the warm-up sections. See, now I'll talk about specifically sprinting here, since sprinting involves more like skipping for like the warm-ups and stuff like that, and basically striding work when it comes to sprinting in general. The speed and ground coverage is very crucial, obviously being a fast person overall. If you want to be like some Looney Tunes road runner. Now compare that to jogging. Jogging is a lot different. Now the training and the warm-up for jogging is exactly a lot different. Now I specifically forgot the entire kinesiology, the biology, whatever about jogging, so shut up. I know basically you guys can just look up in this video basically what's the difference between the warm-up between sprinting and jogging. I don't have time to look up another article, another YouTube video to research for this video. Andrew Huberman actually talked about one of these differences in this video before with a guy who was like an expert in cardio, particularly on how people specifically warm up on jogging versus sprinting. Honestly, I don't feel like going deeper dive into like an hour of Andrew Huberman neuroscience right here, especially due to the fact that Andrew Huberman, like everybody's been criticizing the way how Andrew Huberman like jogs and sprints. Like I've personally never seen Andrew Huberman jog or sprint. I don't watch it like clips and stuff like this because I'm not a nerd fitness optimization type of guy myself. I just eat protein and I go to the gym and I work out. I'm not going to deep dive into another hour into like fitness optimization jargon. Now, if you truly want to know the entire like philosophy and like terminology, whatever the hell, I know like I'm not saying these words correctly. Bear with me, but there are guys online who are posting this type of content, like Andrew Huberman and stuff like that. They're posting content on the entire like scientific deep down breakdown. But if you guys want me to become a fitness nerd for the day, I can obviously make a video on like the entire breakdown of like fitness terminology and stuff like that. Obviously I read a ton of these books daily, and obviously I practice them myself here and there. But what matters most is not if something is 100% optimized. What matters the most is if you personally enjoy that form of cardio. Fitness should not be maximized about suffering, trying to be like the next David Goggins type of like record holder type of guy. It should be maximized with consistency and fun. That's why my forms of cardio that I generally enjoy and what I would confirm obviously in this video right here and now is jogging, sprinting, and running. especially when it comes to sprinting, which I'll sprinkle here and there when I have specific sprinting days, probably like Saturdays and Sundays, and like the rest of the days jogging. You may be wondering why. It's because of the fact that the endorphins from running helps me calm down, helps me stay fit and lean by burning calories, and honestly I just enjoy it because overall it's fun. And when the weather is hot, all I can say is that you're sweating while running. All I gotta say is sheesh. Add some music or your favorite podcast or TV show between the mix, like some weird like anti-woman video or whatever, and then boom, you probably have like a good like workout session right there. Don't watch anti-woman video. Obviously you respect women, but obviously you probably like one of those guys back then starting out a journey, whatever, like some phase, being like hating women and stuff like that. Plus it gets me outside and gives me a reason to be social and touch grass, since most of you guys obviously don't touch grass. It makes me avoid becoming a gym cell, talking to people as I don't become in a physical gym to do cardio on the treadmill. Maybe talk to girls here and there and just overall exist outside of a squat rack. And obviously about talking about the big three, I want to go back to my point in that entire like consistency, what makes you like think what's fun for you. Cardio should be fun and should be attuned to what you generally believe and what you want. Just like lifting, obviously cardio should specifically be what you want and what you generally love and enjoy about cardio, and that's going to fit to your schedule and what you generally love. If you hate a specific type of cardio, then just don't do it. Find something that you stick to longer term. That being said, overall there's a specific type of cardio that I will lay out in the rest of this video that I generally believe should be talked about and heard about in like a Geneva convention. Starting off with the Versa Climber. Now this thing, if you look it up, this looks like some execution BDSM device that you see off like the hub, like somebody chained it to a floor in like some dungeon with some guy saying we'll keep you living as long as you keep on climbing. Versa Climber basically is cardio that helps you train VO2 max training, zone 2 training, and basically just baseline general conditioning. And it obviously mimics climbing, and don't get me wrong, it can be effective. Honestly, I wouldn't want to do it every single day, especially as a beginner. It's incredibly demanding on the entire body. Legs get cooked, your lungs get cooked, your body gets cooked, your mind gets cooked, and by the time you're obviously done, it feels like your entire nostrils are just sweating out just all this weird fluid because of how hard this thing was to do. So basically, if I was just brand new to the Versa Climber as a fitness beginner, obviously I look at somebody and be like, what type of crime that I personally do? Because the fact that I'm just in my head, like, no, I'm trying to lose 10 pounds for summer, not basically get tortured. Speaking of which, the next torture device is Jacob's ladder, and generally I don't know what this thing is. It's literally just a moving ladder. The literal thing looks more awkward. The way that you're using it looks like you're just hunchbacked. You're just basically looking like a low testosterone guy, like how guys be like, hold your shoulders back. You're only more hunchback doing this type of cardio. The ladder rotates underneath you. Every time I watch somebody, a clip online, basically do this type of cardio, it looks like they're like seconds away from getting pants, or even possibly just completely launch into another zip code. Some of the ladder rungs, some of the ladder like cylinders here and there, it looks like literal wood. Maybe they are perfectly safe. Maybe they're engineered by NASA. I don't personally know. I don't personally care. In my head, one rung snaps and one guy like pantses me, I'm falling instantly backwards and hitting my head, and I have to sue the gym. And the gym rats and the gym bodybuilders see my dead body as they like try and get 30 grams of protein off of me. Personally, as always, I just rather do something more simple, like just either walking, I'm just too big, or just, you know, cycling, or just going for a jog like I said earlier before. 10 minutes of cardio a day every here and there, I'm happy. And now the last one that I specifically want to pinpoint, because I'm not trying to make this video like too long, and then there's tons of different types of cardio that I can make an entire series, like the worst types of cardio is kangaroo jumping boots or whatever. It looks like you jump around like a kangaroo with these boots, and all I have to say is just absolutely not. I saw a coach online talk about these things, and basically they're like mini trampolines for your feet. And the idea sounds cool in theory, don't get me wrong, the idea does sound cool in theory. Problems that I specifically know myself, and I know how my body works. I tried them on, do some accidental experiment, break my back and stuff, try to do some accidental like little cool little backflip for the huzz, and boom, immediately discover what an inside of an ambulance looks like. So for me personally, this is just all a hard pass with the cardio that I personally would never do, because it's like dangerous for me with my body. And obviously, like I said, I personally would just do something that I personally love. Now, after looking at some of Greg Duchetti's videos as well, I personally want to talk about the cardio that I personally agree and I personally like about what Greg Duchetti pointed out in like several different cardio videos. This is obviously a lot of mix of different cardio jargon here and there, which being, for one, cardio is good for you and should be incorporated with your lifting routine. There's shocking revelation. We all know, obviously, even beginners know this, just that mainly beginners are just too lazy to act on it, which is why we should be more focused on like not less more like knowledge, but more in like being disciplined, more taking action. There is cardio like rucking, walking, and jogging should be incorporated in most fitness routines, requiring like the amount of cardio that you're having mostly in the entire week. Improves cardiovascular health, helps with burning calories, burning fat, keep you more leaner longer term, increases work capacity, just improves your life in general. Like, the guy's been in the fitness community more longer than me. Obviously, I completely agree with everything that he does. Obviously, this guy's been like a IFBB pro. If I remember, he's been even like he has a degree in specific fitness like terminology and stuff like that, fitness like science and stuff like that. Even though he's more busy trying to be on a rant with like 20 different fitness YouTubers all at once and post them all like in the same entire week span. But here's where I differ than most people online regarding fitness. I personally don't think jogging exceeds here, since it's my opinion that jogging is cool as hell. I personally love jogging with some good music here and there. And I don't think that running is overrated either. I just don't personally think there's just like one main cardio that everybody should do, even though everybody shouldn't have their size from like A tier, B tier, C tier. Like, if you love like doing forms of cardio that you genuinely love to do, then do it. Every video comes to that point of basically you loving to do the lifting or the cardio that you genuinely enjoy that can fit with your schedule. Cardio should be fun, lifting should be fun. Lifting and cardio and fitness overall should just not feel like a prison sentence. It should actually maybe enhance your life. There's a reason why I always talk about not optimizing. And actually, if you do optimize for hard work, being uncomfortable, doing something that you genuinely feel comfortable in doing, basically doing something that you find fun instead of doing something that you find uncomfortable and suffering at the same time, mixing in between. Since it's supposed to be hard, yes, but at the same time, I'm just like, dude, just know. Sure, we're supposed to work hard, we're supposed to improve ourselves, we're supposed to continue to build society. People also should be taking breaks and should also, most importantly, do things that they enjoy to do longer term. If I suddenly one day just hated my push-pull leg split, like my push-pull legs upper split or my upper lower split, and I went for full body 2 days a week, then rightfully so, I do full body 2 days a week, since obviously I changed my mind, specifically thinking like, okay, cool, full body 2 days a week is kind of cool now. And like, the best program is the one that you just enjoy, that you follow more longer term. And like, just because you do a lot of cardio, you train like probably Rich Piana and Trend Twins, that doesn't mean that you should be like eating like Rich Piana or the Trend Twins, no matter how many calories that you're burning overall, especially if you're on a cutting phase or a maintenance phase. Some people basically just do 20 minutes of cardio and they just say, F it, let me just eat that amount of calories that can just feed an entire small village. That's not how this works. Anyways, this is my take, my video on basically on cardio and stuff like that. Pretty short video, since cardio is cardio here and there, and I can make up a longer video of cardio and lifting combining, like maybe in like a cutting or a bulking type of video on like, should you do cardio on a bulking phase, or how much cardio should you be doing on a cutting phase and stuff like that. Overall, do cardio. Combine lifting and cardio and you get very far as well. If you love dancing as a form of cardio, then dance. If you love running as a form of cardio, then ruck. If you love walking as a form of cardio, then walk. If you love jogging as a form of cardio, then walk. If you even love shaking your ass to some weird little beat or some stuff like that, some weird little frisky beat here and there, and you like to say that that's exercise, doing that 60 minutes every single day, then I'm not stopping you. I mean, there's no machine that specifically says that you can shake your ass specifically and burn the like calories over time for 60 minutes, but hey, that's your body. You're technically doing cardio, right? At the end of the day, just find something that you genuinely enjoy and stick with it. Anyways, as always, stay safe, God bless, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.